Greetings, everyone. These Western Union receipts represent a different thing to me in this time. In the past, I used to think that when I took from my little stash to give to someone else, it was going to bring blessing to me. This gentleman on the screen right now really taught me some serious lessons. He taught me that it is crazy to tell yourself that you're going to bless somebody when you yourself are in search or in need of a blessing. And that it was very stupid to take what you consider to be your blessing and give it to someone else and still wait for another blessing. And so what we call a blessing oftentimes is a curse to us. And when we blame other persons for our predicaments, we have to look to ourselves, look in the mirror and examine ourselves and realize the part we play in our own destruction or financial destruction. And so let me share the story with you. About 2 years ago, I was walking through my community and saw a poster, stuck in someone's lawn. It was a Black woman. She was a real estate lady. And at the time, I was also talking to another real estate person because I was in a predicament. I had to make a move and I had to walk in faith, and I had to just not just come up with these ideas and not walk towards them. At this time in my life, I needed to prove who my guides were. And so, as much as I was already working with one set of real estate people, I saw the Black woman and I said to myself, group dynamics, it'd be nice to support this woman as I'm walking towards, improving my life, taking a different path to, achieve my goals of home ownership. I wanted to bring this woman along with me. And if you're with me for a long time, you'll see how that resulted. Because what was happening with that lady is she was trying to exploit my vulnerability. And I'm going to leave it that way. She told me that I needed a $50,000 down payment. And then after I gave her my document, she started telling me that was not sufficient and that I would have to get a third party to give me another $50,000 before I could even think of looking at anything. So what she was saying is you need $100,000 to even imagine having home ownership. When I thought about it, I'm never the type of person to put my basket where I cannot reach it. So there's no way I was going to have a mortgage and then a loan. And I realized something was off. And so I told her, it's okay. I think I'm going to make other moves. I'm going to think about this some more. Just return my documents to me. And when it was time for me to return the documents because things were not adding up, and in my spirit, it was time to sever ties with her, because once again, I realized that when I was thinking of group dynamics, what I should have been doing is thinking about self-improvement, self-actualization, doing what I needed to do to improve my own life and not carry someone else with me like some albatross. In my household, I now believe in group dynamics where every person in the household, has a certain responsibility, and we all come together to provide, sustenance and to build wealth. If it's not within my household, I'm not concerned. At least I'm no longer concerned. If someone has issues and it comes to me, it is brought to me through divine, you know, grace or mercy, I then say to my spirit guide, if this is something that you want me to be involved with, then you're going to provide an additional support system so I can use that. I'm not taking from mine anymore to give to somebody, because that is not going to bring me any blessing In fact, that is only going to curse what I got. So after a while, you have to then look at your life and say, when I'm going through all these things in my life, who was there for me? Who came to my rescue? And oftentimes the ones who ask the most of you are never there. I also learned one thing, that when I say my word, I have to keep to it. I have to stick with the words that I speak, because the words that I speak are not just powerful, but they are life in itself. And the words you speak, when you utter these words, understand that you have opened your pathway or your destiny with just the words. Then what you think is one thing, but the moment you speak it, it becomes your reality. I was in the park with some children that were at my daycare, just there watching them play and thinking about all the issues that I had to deal with. It was a time of great anxiety and separation and uncertainty. And I was sitting there with my thoughts when I felt so overwhelmed because there were so many things I had to do in a short time. And I had 3 cases that I was dealing with, not criminal cases, but cases where I had to stand up to defend myself, because I was not going to allow anyone to exploit me or abuse me because I was vulnerable. And it became so overwhelming that I said, you know what? I'm just going to relinquish this to you, spirit guide. I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to separate myself from it, because if I am not in the position to make the changes that are required, then I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to surrender it. And as soon as I said that, the phone rang, and my daughter came to me on the phone with a proposition. But just before that, I had already said, I'm relinquishing this. And so I had to say to her, I am sorry. You're going to have to go forward, and you're going to have to check out that thing on your own. That's the hardest thing for me to do, to just step back and let somebody else, figure it out. But I promised, I said, I'm not going to take this anymore. It's overwhelming. I've already done my part, and now I'm leaving the rest up to you. And I'm doing that again, because right now there are things that I would want to achieve or accomplish in my life. And I know that, first of all, speaking on it before it comes to pass is very dangerous. Never talk about the things you're pursuing while you're pursuing it. Because again, you don't see the things that are before you, and you don't see the heart of people. And not everybody that smiles in your face is a friend. And not everyone who says, I'm happy for you, actually is. So in the time while you're trying to get to the next level, keep your business, keep it quiet, keep it close to your heart, keep it close to your breast, so no one can attempt to cancel your blessing before it comes. The woman that I wanted to support abandoned the other folks that I was working with the old mindset that, yes, support your group. Listen, the truth of the matter is, our people do not support each other. And sometimes there's a reason for it, because the ones we oftentimes try to support, they're also the ones that bring the dagger to you. Do you understand? It's not to be skeptical, but listen, I can't change the whole world, and I can't even change my group without taking care of myself. So when you focus on, we're going to build together, you have to be realistic. It took hundreds of years for us to get to the point where we realize that because we're not coming together in a cohesive way, that we're constantly, staying at the bottom of the totem pole. It's taken us hundreds of years to understand this. And so you cannot undo it in one day. So in my lifetime, I have tried to share, my love and my wealth and, my support system to other persons within my own relation or within, my community or so on and so forth. And there's hardly anyone to come back and say thank you. See, for me, all I really wanted to hear was thank you, because sometimes it encourages you. But the reason why they were not allowed to come back and say thank you is because I was on a path that was destructive. I was on a path that was not going to allow me to grow, to elevate. So I'm not trying to promote whatever it is I used to try to promote within a group dynamic. I'm now trying to elevate. I'm trying to build something for myself and my children. And I don't think it's too late to do that. It would have been nice to understand this from earlier on, but it's never too late. So instead of focusing on family or relatives or whatever, unless it's your children or your offspring, or for yourself, because there are times when even your offspring is going to have to stand on their own and make their own fortunes. But if you so happen to be working with yours, make sure you're on the same page. Make sure that your goals are synchronized and that everything that you're doing together, you have the same aim, the same goal, the same intention for you to really reap success from what you're doing. What am I saying in this video? I'm saying I can't take care of your problems when I got my own. I can't try to build you when I am just climbing the ladder. I cannot take over your dreams or your ambitions when I have minds to nurture. In terms of trying to build in my community, I'm not even there anymore. The truth is, from my experience and whatever sort of devilish spell that is upon my people, I'm not trying to figure it out anymore. I'm just trying to move ahead. I'm trying to build myself. I'm trying to love myself. I no longer carry the guilt or the burden of rescuing anybody. So when those Western Union receipts go out, it is usually from a place of, I'm not even sure what to say, what place that is. It's like just doing what I'm told to do when the spirits lead me to do it. And when I do it that way, I have no expectation from anyone. We often put ourselves in a position where we feel disappointed because people did not give us the reception we expected. We have to go in there and do the thing. And the moment you exchange that service, or you part ways with your money to help somebody, you don't remember them or what you did. Unless you do that, you're going to always be disappointed, because our people are very ungrateful, to be honest with you. And time after time after time, I see it, and it does not feel good. But if you constantly get the same kind of negative response from trying to do good, then you have to learn. You have to learn from it. My partner says, you can't bless somebody until you bless yourself. You can't help somebody until you're in a position where you can help yourself. And anyone who's asking you to help them when you have not helped yourself means you're no good. But it also means that you don't mean yourself any good. It's time for us to release ourselves from these burdens or other people's responsibility and take our own. Walk towards the things that are going to improve our life, raise our vibration, and take us to the path where we can say, yes, I too can be a blessing to myself, and I can walk in health and prosperity. Stop waiting for someone else to bless you, and bless yourself with making the right decisions that are best for you and yours. Stay blessed, everybody.